Hey, EXP agents, Levi Lascsak here, and I'm excited to share with you the power of passive prospecting on YouTube in our new YouTube Mastery course launching on the Elevate platform coming up on June 4th. Now, we are going to be walking you through everything you need to accomplish all your YouTube goals, even starting from the very beginning by getting your channel ramped up, how to build it out, how to create the content, how to curate that content, and then ultimately how to convert those leads. And so join me. You can scan the QR code or click the link below. I'm looking forward to working with you. And again, this is 6 weeks, 2 hours a week over the next 6 weeks. You're going to be side by side with me as I walk you through not just how to start a channel, but maybe you have a channel that's not converting exactly the way you want it to. We're going to cover that as well. And I look forward to seeing you there and seeing you on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Levi Lascsak. I'm an Icon agent here with eXp Realty, along with my business partner, Travis Plumb. This is passive prospecting, so you never have to cold call, door knock, or spend money on ads ever again if you don't want to. So let's get into it. Again, I mentioned my business partner, Travis Plumb, has been very instrumental in our success. I like to say that I collected the clients, he converted them, but he's, big thanks to him as well. So here's the deal. Here's a little bit of the backstory. We were brand new agents, both of us. We sold 0 homes in 2020, and we released our first YouTube video on December 5th of 2020. And we sold 0 homes in the first quarter of 2021. All right. But here's what happened from April of 2021 to December of 2021. We actually got the first 2 deals under contract in March, but they didn't close until April. So again, after closing just 2 of our first 2 transactions in April of 2021, this is what happened over the next 9 months. We generated 690 leads from the channel. We closed 64 transactions at 9.2% conversion, 33.5 million in volume, and just over $1 million in commissions in our first year in real estate. But here's the compound effect. The beginning of this year, from January to July, the first 7 months, this got out of control. We ended up generating 1,006 leads, 153 transactions at a 15.2% conversion rate. We did 87.7 million in volume and over 2.6 million in commissions. And as of today of this recording, we've just passed over 100 million in our second year, closed and pending, just from a YouTube channel, no ad spend at all whatsoever. It's completely crazy. So here's even more of the backstory. A lot of you probably know Michael Reese. I've known him for 20 years. We actually sold gym memberships together at Bally Total Fitness before he was in real estate. I remember the weekend he went to the lake and met Jay Kinder and came back to Bally Health Club on a Monday. And he was like, Levi, I'm getting into real estate. And I go, okay, well, good luck. And the thing was, I just wasn't interested in being a real estate agent. This was in 2002. But Michael and I have stayed friends over the last 20 years. We watched each other's success and grow. But, I understood the stats, of getting into real estate. It's very difficult. 87% of the agents fail within the first 2 years. But I watched Michael, of course, and he worked he worked hard his whole career. But those first 3 years were extremely critical. And that's the case in any business. The first 2 years, if you don't get your act together, most businesses fail. And of course, most real estate agents fail. But I had to ask myself, why do agents fail? Well, number one, most agents come into the business with less than $5,000 to their name. So that means they don't have a lot of money or any money at all really for marketing. That's usually that $5,000 is going to pay their bills. So that's why they resort to cold calling and door knocking and calling FSBOs and expireds, because that takes their time versus money. But even according to NAR on their website, it says agents with 2 years or less experience on average make $8,800 a year. I can't live off of $8,800 a year, and most people can't either. And that's probably why they get out of the business on top of that. But it becomes a rejection-based business. How many times have you heard you've got to get through so many no's just to get to a yes? What it comes down to, I don't care who you are, nobody likes to get rejected. Now, what it really boils down to is why agents fail within their first couple of years is because they're not effective at lead generation. And if you're not getting clients through the front door or getting them to work with you, you're going to be out of business very quickly. So whenever I was making the move into real estate, I wanted to figure out where are the eyeballs, right? How could I position myself in front of the people that were looking for real estate? Well, of course, Google, the number one search engine, I looked at Plano, Texas, a suburb of Dallas, to see where, what the search volume was. Well, Plano gets 90,500 searches per month on Google. But whenever I looked at YouTube, Plano gets 834,000 searches per month. That is 10 times the search volume on YouTube versus Google. So that told me that people are actually wanting to see these areas, hear them, experience them through video versus just reading a blog. So this allowed me to discover what we call the passive prospecting principles: intention-based, global reach, compounding time, and attraction-based. So let me break those down for you real quick. Now, interruption marketing is something that you've probably conducted your entire career, and it's what we've been exposed to our entire lives. They say on average, you get hit with 8,000 to 10,000 ads per day. I don't know about you, but I'm not buying 8,000 products a day. So what do? We ignore that stuff. We block it out. We blow right by it. It's interrupting us, right? And so you could see a dog food commercial 10 times a day. It doesn't mean you're going to run out and buy dog food. But the second you pour out the last bowl of dog food, none of us want Fluffy to die. And so you say, okay, well, I'm going to go to the store, go directly to the dog food aisle, buy it and bring it back home, or I'm going to go on Amazon, search it, find it in 2 minutes, buy it, and it'll be on my doorstep 2 days later. That is intention. Actually, yesterday I needed a garbage disposal, went on Amazon, bought it. It was on my doorstep the same day, but I did not need any marketing or advertising to convince me I needed a garbage disposal. I had intention to buy it. So when people are intentionally looking for real estate, what if you could be that person directly in front of them? And so look at the back-end analytics of our channel. 55% of our traffic comes from TV, computer, and tablet. Those are research devices, which tells us people are sitting down, interested in finding out this information and learning more. 30% of our traffic comes from TV, which means people are sitting on their couch or maybe even laying in bed watching our videos. On top of that, they say the attention spans are dead these days, which is why you're supposed to be a dancing real estate agent on TikTok. But however, look at the view durations, okay? When people are researching and looking for information, TV, our average view duration is 9 minutes and 39 seconds. That's way longer than a 60-second video, right? Computer, 5 minutes and 52. Tablet, 6 minutes and 23. But look, when YouTube is the most creator-friendly platform out there. They want to find your audience. And whenever they suggest your videos to the right audience, look at our average view duration, 10 minutes and 48 seconds. So when we understand people's intention, we can have their attention. And so we don't have to just focus on short form content or 60-second videos. Creating long form content is what allows people to research, and those that are looking for information really dial in. And that's why our average contact to under contract is 47 days. Yes, think about that. When people reach out to us for the very first time, on average in our business, we get them under contract in 47 days. The reason being is because they're intentional. They're in the process of making a decision of buying real estate. And then you think about global versus local. Now, it's one thing to farm out your local area. That's very effective. But have you ever had ambitions to expand outside of that, outside of your suburbs or your neighborhoods or your city or your state or the country? But you would probably never cold call another country or another state. You'd probably never send postcards to another state. It just wouldn't make sense, right? However, people from all over the world are finding our channel, right? Because they're going on here. On top of that, look at this. Look at the views. We're reaching 69 people at 2 a.m, 70 people at 3 a.m., 72 people at 4 a.m. When's the last time that you cold called or door knocked at 3 a.m, right? So the thing is that 2 a.m, in the US could be 9 a.m. in the UK. It could be 5 p.m. in Japan. And we've actually helped people from Japan, from Australia. Look at this. We just got this email the other day. Elizabeth says, I'm from Florida, but have been living abroad in Belgium for the past 6 years. We're transferring to Texas and we're going to work in Dallas. So this is somebody from Belgium reaching out. We had this comment the other day, been watching your channel for a year now. It's been great to help. We will be migrating to Dallas in December from the Philippines. And again, we've helped people from South Africa, from Canada, from the UK. People move from all over the world because why? Whenever they have to move, they can't just come to Dallas for a regular weekend to look at homes. They start researching. So we're capturing people, which is, again, this is a prime example of this person watching our channel for a year and reaching out to us in November, a month before they're making the move in December. And so that's why we get them under contract so quickly, is because the videos is doing the work for us. And that's the whole point. Most agents tell me they don't get on YouTube because it takes too much time. But YouTube does not take you time. It makes you time. This one 30-minute video, it took me only 30 minutes to film it, but it's been watched over 9,400 hours. So that's like making a profit of 9,399.5 hours. So that's a pretty good return on my 30-minute investment, don't you think? But we'll take it a step further. YouTube doesn't just make you time, it compounds your time. Look at this. Our channel has watched 1,514 hours in one day. You divide that by 24 hours in a day, that's equivalent to 63 days. You know, in July, our channel was watched at 11,800 hours. You divide that by 24 hours in a day, that's equivalent to 1.34 years. And then so far through July, since we started, the channel has watched 130,400 hours. You divide that by 24 hours a day, that's equivalent to 14.88 years worth of prospecting. So when you break that down, that is a true compounding of your time, because we're turning one day worth of prospecting into 2.1 months. We're turning a month into 1.34 years, and we're turning 1.5 years into 1.5 decades worth of prospecting. That's why we're doing the business we're doing, is because the channel is not just prospecting for us day by day, it's prospecting for us in multiples of days in a one-day time frame, sometimes even months. And as you can see, in just a year and a half, a decade and a half worth of prospecting. But this applies directly to the cash flow quadrant. If you've ever read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, then the follow-up book was the cash flow quadrant. You know, none of us wanted to be employees. That's the whole reason we got a real estate license, because we didn't want to work for somebody else and we didn't want to trade time for money. But we thought we were smart, got a real estate license. All we did was, move to self-employed. We still trade time for money. We just do it for ourselves instead of somebody else. So if you really want to be a business owner in real estate, to get to the right side of the quadrant, you have to have a team, own a brokerage, own rental properties, producing passive income, or own a lead generating system like YouTube. That's something it's basically a person, process, or something else that is working for you 24/7, so that you do not have to be involved in your business 100% of your time. But the ultimate goal is to get to the I quadrant, to become an investor. Why? Because your money can make you money. That's the ultimate leverage. And if you were to invest in stocks, real estate, or crypto, I would assume your number one question would be, what's going to be the return of my investment? Well, if time is really the most valuable asset, then shouldn't we be asking, what's going to be the return of my time if I'm going to invest it in some type of project or a social platform? Well, that's what I love about YouTube, because it tells us directly what we're getting back. Because of all the analytical data in the back end, we know we're getting a compound effect of our time. So it's well worth investing. But what this really comes down to is active prospecting. It's hard, right? It's why all sales training exists. This is why there's sales books, sales conferences, sales coaching, all of that to help you, build rapport, establish credibility, develop relationships. They teach you how to do that, because in sales, you get a ton of rejection, and that's hard. What I've been in sales for 20 plus years. I love it, but I hated prospecting. I always felt like I was prospecting 90% of my time. That's where I spent all my time every single day, just for 10% of the time to actually talk to people about the product or service I was excited about. But when it comes down to passive prospecting, it's easy, right? There's zero rejection. Nobody has ever called us and said, Levi, I hate your videos, therefore I'm not going to do business with you, okay? If they don't want to do business with us, they don't call us. And since we're not pursuing them, we don't know who doesn't want to work with us, right? But the thing is that clients walk themselves through the entire sales process. That's what I love about video. They search on their own. They find your video on their own. They click on your video on their own. They watch it on their own. Then YouTube's going to give them more of your videos. Then they watch those. And the video ends up building the relationship for us, all right? And so that way, whenever clients call us, they've already made the decision that they want to work with you once you get that phone call, because of all the video has laid the groundwork. And so that's the great thing about it. And we see this every single day in the text and emails that we get. But these are cold emails to us. They're inbound. We've never met these people, but look at the amount of information that comes with them. They tell us everything. Only people that feel like they know you would write this much information on an opening email. They give us price range, budget, beds, baths, how many kids they have, their kids' names. They'll tell us everything, but look at these key phrases. We would like to check with you if you'd be able to help us find a home. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for your time. I look forward to hearing from you. If you have some time to talk about this, feel free to give me a call. I mean, it's like they're asking us, do you have time to work with me? I mean, I know you're busy, but we would really like you to help us find a home. Think about how powerful that is. But we also get phone calls every day, and this is what it sounds like on those phone calls.
Hi, Levi. Is this the Living in Dallas, Texas YouTube channel?
That's me.
Are you guys the folks on the YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, that's us.
Okay. I know exactly who I'm talking to then.
But this is regarding the Living in Dallas, Texas channel, right?
Wait, are you Levi from the videos, from the YouTube videos?
Yeah, that's me.
It's good talking to you.
I saw some of your videos, and that's how I found you. So actually very helpful.
My wife and I have seen your guys' videos on YouTube and kind of caught our interest.
I'm posting on YouTube, but very interesting where you clear share the information.
I don't know if we should ask for an autograph or something. We can follow you on YouTube like you're a superstar.
That I reach out to you guys because I've been watching your YouTube videos.
Hey, good to talk to you guys. Been looking at your videos on YouTube.
I feel like talking to the movie star.
Just saw your YouTube video. I'm sure you did a lot of calls like this.
Like some of your videos are literally like the first videos I see. So I'm just like, I'm gonna call this guy. Let me text this gentleman.
Thank you. You have a nice video.
We were really impressed, and that's why we wanted to get in touch with you.
I saw your videos, and it actually helped me.
We liked your videos and your knowledge and your energy level. And
All the information that you gave us on the YouTube channel about both of those spots, it looks good.
You watched pretty much all your videos.
I found you through YouTube, actually. I've been watching a lot of your videos lately.
Let me commend you, man. Good job on that.
Great videos on YouTube.
Yeah, no, I've been looking at your stuff, and it's been helpful.
Your YouTube channel helps out a lot. We like to watch those videos, kind of get a lay of the land, But
You make great videos, by the way. I enjoy watching them.
we learned a great deal just watching your YouTube videos. Which are amazing, by the way.
I found your information super helpful.
I like what you say in your videos. There's also hotspots for investments.
A no-brainer, but you guys are also well-informed, but I really like your stuff.
There's videos and content there. Really good stuff. Really good sites and really informative.
We watch your videos religiously.
Thank you for doing that.
So imagine that. Imagine every time you picked up the phone, it was somebody that wanted to talk to you and was excited that you answered the phone. So we've been helping agents do this across the country, which is really cool. Kyler down in Houston, really having a lot of success. He just sent this update, like just within 6 months, 2,000 subscribers on his channel, 140 active leads, 6 sold with 2 pending, and expect to get another 10 to 13 by the end of the year. In the first 6 months of starting his channel, he was completely skeptical about doing this with us, but now he's a true believer. Rochelle up in Canada, she's crushing it. She's over 5,000 subscribers now, but she posted this: in the last 7 days, I've closed 1.6 million in volume, currently working with another $1.3 million buy sell, started a team to help me with the leads. My new agent, newly licensed, closed 4 deals in her first month. That is literally how fast these deals go, because again, the video has built the relationship for you. These people are intentional. And then whenever they reach out, they're ready to make a move. And so, and then Chris, even if you're in a smaller market, this is the thing, is like Chris had 0 sales experience, no real estate experience. He was a nurse. He got completely burnt out during 2020, with all working at the hospital. And so he's like, I got to make a change. Wanted to get into real estate, but didn't want to cold call and door knock and spend a ton of money on trying to brand himself. So he found what we were doing, joined us here at EXP, and, lives in Northwest Georgia, extremely rural, driving 30 minutes in between towns, small, but he is dominating his market now because he's the only one doing videos there. So if you're in a small market, that could even give you a bigger advantage. And he's very happy. He's got 4 kids. He does 1 to 3 transactions a month from the channel, but that's enough for him and his family. And so he absolutely loves it because he gets to spend time with his kids. He's not spending all of his time prospecting, and he just makes a few videos and the business just comes to him. And, here's our BHAG is that we do want to help, 100 other agents at least, build their own channels out, their own passive prospecting 24/7 lead generating channels. And that way they never have to cold call and door knock or host open houses or spend money on ads if they don't, or really depend on those iBuyer platforms. Those are taking heavy referral fees at this time. And so, YouTube doesn't take any fees at all from you. And so this is where we built, we built out the passive prospecting process. And these are some really good tips for you right now, because if you're thinking about doing this, well, it starts with like building out your channel. Everything on here is very strategic, very specific. Okay. So we didn't name the channel Levi and Travis's home selling team because we had zero brand. Nobody knew who we were. Nobody was searching that on YouTube. So we figured out the top search term for Dallas and we called our channel that, Living in Dallas, Texas. But also when people come here, they're not confused. It doesn't say Levi and Travis real estate agent, call us to buy, sell, or invest, which would pretty much be like a sales pitch, and we haven't even earned the right yet for their business. So we say subscribe to learn about living in Dallas, Texas, because that's a direct communication to them of giving them a reason and a value add of why they should subscribe. Because think about it, people are on YouTube researching. So if they come across a channel and it's all about living in Dallas, Texas, they're going to be like, okay, I could do this. But over here, we paint a visual picture, right? With the US, a lot of our clients come in from California, Illinois, New York. So whenever they come on this channel, they have an immediate connection because they see, oh, there's me in the box truck moving from California, so they create that instant connection. And then on the right-hand side, this is where we see a lot of agents link their TikTok, their Twitter, their Facebook, their Instagram, their website. And we always wondered why that was. Why distract people away from your channel? You worked so hard to get them there in the first place. Don't send them to TikTok where they're going to end up watching silly cat videos in the first place, right? So the thing is that the only thing we link there is an opportunity to book a call with us, right? That's the only reason we want them to leave the channel, is if they're going to talk to us. And so we don't want to distract them to other platforms. We want them to stay on YouTube as long as possible until they've decided to give us a call. Then you have content creation strategies. These work in pretty much any market to get your channel started off right. First of all, vlog tours. Anybody can go on an iBuyer platform and look at pictures of the inside and the outside of a home. But what they can't see is they can't see the house across the street, the house next door, the playground, the community center, the community pool, the Chipotle around the corner. So we take them out in the neighborhoods and actually show them what's it like to live around there. What does it look like? And then on top of that, you have map tours. This blew me away. A simple experiment just to try this out once was doing a share screen and walking people through on a map, of your area, talking them through things. Now, anybody can go and look at a map online, but they can't get your perspective. They can't get your stories and your experience. And yes, Google may say it takes 20 minutes to get to the airport, but does it really take 20 minutes to get to the airport? And so those are the insights that you can give them and walk them through that. Pros and cons videos may sound cheesy, but they really work because people want to know the good and the bad of an area. And then you have list videos like top 5 suburbs, top 6 neighborhoods, top 7 this, top 8 that. Any type of list video is always engaging and keeps people involved. Then it comes down to search engine optimization. This matters because YouTube is the second largest search engine behind Google, which Google's #1. And Google owns YouTube, so their search goes hand in hand. And here's the deal. We use a particular software that flip-flops thumbnails every other day. So we don't guess on this stuff. We let the viewers tell us which thumbnail, which title, which description they like better. So we get it switched out, but we'll just adjust a couple of things, or usually just one thing, so we know what it is. And we post it and let the software do the work for us. But this thumbnail, for example, the first one got 20% more clicks than the second. So it became the winner. But look at this one. 387% more clicks just by changing up the wording on there. That's a big difference. Same background, same image, but just changing a couple of words got 387% more clicks. Think about that as driving views to your videos. But look at this last one. If we would have just went with our original guess on the thumbnail, we wouldn't have had any success because YouTube likes a click-through rate of 2 to 10%. So this one got 0.78% click-through rate. That means YouTube probably would have not have promoted that video. But because we made a slight adjustment, The second thumbnail got 648% more clicks than the first one. And it landed right at 5.8%, right in the middle of that 2 to 10%. And so YouTube says, oh, a lot of people are clicking on this video and they're watching it. Therefore, we're going to recommend it to more people. And that's how you gain momentum on YouTube. It starts with the click. So thumbnails are absolutely crucial on there. Then you talk about lead conversion. If you have to do anything twice in your business, you need a system, a process, a campaign, or a trigger, some sort of automation in place, because I've never written a second email to refer somebody to my lender. You know, if somebody wants to get referred to our lender, we typed up one email initially. Now it's custom to that client, right, with their name, but the information is the same. I don't need to type that out every single time, but it gives them very important information. And when we move them in our pipeline process, then it's a drag and drop system. It automatically fires off the email to the lender, to the client, to the agent, to the transaction coordinator. Everybody's involved, you know, on that communication. And so I don't have to send out emails to 5 different people at once. We just move them through our process. That is automation. It saves you time and energy and effort, you know. So let me ask you a question. You saw our BHAG, or Big Hairy Audacious Goal. You saw how to build your channel, content creation and strategies, optimization and SEO and lead conversion. So I'd ask you, what if we could do all of this with you? And this is where we develop the passive production process. And that's simply where, you know, agents that we're able to work with, if they can just film the video, then we can help them with building out the channel, editing and optimization, publishing and support. And so, you know, you look at this, a lot of people their first question is going to be, okay, what's that going to cost me? Now, this can add up and become very expensive if you try to start to piece this stuff together. You know, I've seen YouTube courses out there for $59.97, setup fees, channel graphics, channel build out, content strategies, editing, all that stuff really adds up. I mean, we would never get anywhere close to that. But I want to share with you a quick story, if I may, just a little bit more about my background, because this is really for those of you that have doubt, because I want you to understand that, yes, we've had a lot of success very quickly. But, you know, I've been at work on this for a long time, but I'm also, you know, not really anybody special. I came from a small town called Stephenville, Texas. It's 2 hours south of Dallas. And, you know, if you're not milking cows or riding bulls, there's really not much else to do there. My parents didn't go to college. My 2 older brothers didn't go to college. And, you know, so I grew up my whole life thinking, well, I'm not going to go to college either. And so I worked at the flea markets on the weekends. As you can see here, I think that's like 9th grade. I was always trying to, you know, make some extra money, had jobs since I was 16. So, and I just thought that's the way it was going to be. I worked a year after high school, like mopping floors and stocking shelves, until I realized, okay, this is not going to be the life for me. I've got to get out of here. But how do country boys get out of the country? Well, we joined the military, you know. So this was actually 1999. That's right. I'm 42 years old, or actually 43. I just turned 43. So, but this was 1999. I was 19 years old there. I thought the world was at peace. Nobody's going to mess with us anymore. And I'm going to, you know, just get in. I really thought I'll get in the military, get some money for college, get out. It'll be like a stealth operation, right? No big deal. 1999, nothing was going on. And then 2 years later, September 11th happened. Next thing I know, I find myself deployed in Iraq. I was in the infantry. I was a sergeant. I was running gun trucks, combat patrols, quick reaction force, base camp security, all in the middle of Baghdad in 2005. Not the best time to be there. Trust me. You know, I got out. CrossFit was coming around. I got out in 2006. CrossFit was coming around. And so, you know, I've always been a, you know, in shape type of guy. And so I was like, let me get into CrossFit. The problem was, I came home from Iraq with a digestive disease, and it messed with me on and off for about 8 years until 2013 came. And in 2013, I ended up losing 50 pounds in a single month, and I became bedridden and disabled. And this nearly killed me. For 3 months, it was the most excruciating pain in my life. I went to 4 different GI doctors. They threw the kitchen sink at me with medications, steroids, IV antibiotics, hospital stays. You know, they suggested to cut out my colon to cure me. That's what they were going to do. I was only 33 years old at the time, but it was really by God's grace. I found a natural doctor, and that natural doctor was like, hey, let's change your diet and put you on some vitamins and give that a try. And I was like, okay, we'll try that. And it started to work, and I started to get better. Now, it ended up taking me a full year to recover, but I was able to recover 100% natural with no medication or surgery. And so the reason I just share that is because I want everyone to understand that, you know, my life is probably a lot like your life. You know, it's full of ups and downs. It's the decisions that we make that either get us out of our current situation and move us forward, or it's the indecision that probably end up digging us into a deeper hole. And, whenever I went into the military, I thought that was going to be easy. I didn't think there was going to be any problems. But then, after getting deployed, that was a huge mental setback because, we lost a couple of our team members in Iraq. We've lost more to suicide since coming home. And that's the thing is in Iraq, you don't get days off. You don't get time to mourn. You don't get time to feel sorry for yourself. You have to complete the mission. And so that's why a lot of soldiers have trouble when they come home, because that's the first time they have to actually process things. But I was fortunate to work through that. I got in with a pharmaceutical company. I did very well for 8 years, but I was sick. And then 2013, when I became disabled, I ended up losing that job because after 90 days of medical leave, they wanted me to come back to work and I wasn't physically able to do that. And so that's whenever I started a financial services business. During my recovery, I got contracts with Dallas ISD. I started helping teachers on retirement planning, and every single year got better than the last year. 2019 was my best financial year ever. 2020 was my best financial quarter in the first quarter. And then of course the world shut down, right? All the schools shut down and my business shut down overnight. So there I was over the summer of 2020 at 41 years old, asking myself, how do I start over without starting over? And here comes Michael Reese, still trying to recruit me into real estate after 20 years. And so, that was the thing. So if you've ever tried to get somebody to come over to EXP with you, don't give up, even if it takes 20 years. So finally, during the summer of 2020, he was like, Levi, now's the best time to get into real estate. I'm telling you, you would be great at it. But I was scared, right? I was thinking, I don't want to go in and be a failure. I was looking at Michael and Jay Kinder and these guys that were super successful now and been in the game for 15 years. And I was like, I don't want to start over. I don't want to go back to cold calling and door knocking and doing all that stuff that I did in my 20s in sales, So I just thought differently. I thought, how could I attract business? And how could I build a brand quickly with the least amount of money? And I knew that would be through social, but which platform? There's so many of them out there. Well, I knew I would spread myself too thin if I tried to get started on every platform. So I decided to choose one. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok really didn't set well with me. I didn't see a path there for me. But when I learned that YouTube was a search engine, not a social media platform, then I started to develop a plan, and I found a way that I could create video about Dallas and see if I could attract people that way. And so far, so good. It's been working out, but I share that because it's taken 22 years to become an overnight success. What I realized in 2020 was that I was not starting over at 41. I was starting with 20 years of sales and marketing experience in my back pocket. I just had to apply it in a different way and move a lot quicker than I had moved before and figure out a true way to attract that business. And video marketing, I had not implemented that before in my previous businesses, which is why it took me 3 to 5 years, I believe, to always build that momentum just to lose it. But here with video marketing, especially on YouTube, you can grow a business very quickly. So what it comes down to is you have to choose your hard, right? It's hard working out, but to me, it's a lot harder being sick. It's hard owning a business, but to me, it's a lot harder having a job. And it's hard making videos, but to me, it's a lot harder making calls. So you're going to have to choose a hard. But the deal is we made $1,600,000 in our $1,600,000 in commissions in our first year in real estate off of 160 videos. That's like making $6,200 a video. And if I offered that to you to pay you $6,200 a video, do you think you could make a video? But it gets even better. Remember that compound effect. In the first 7 months of this year, we generated $2.6 million off of 56 videos. And that's like making almost $47,000 a video. So if I offered you $47,000 a video, would you make a video? Probably so. And you probably ask me, how many videos can you make? You would probably have no problem making videos, but that's how much one video is worth to us now because it's generating that much business for us. So I'm going to skip through this and just ask you, what do you believe? I believe if you're not where you want to be, you just haven't learned something yet. But I also believe that once you find that one thing, that you can hyper learn any subject in 60 days. Okay. And so whether that's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, postcard marketing, I believe you can be the best postcard marketer on the planet right now. If you want to, if you study postcard marketing for the next 60 days, I know you'll be more proficient than 99.9% of real estate agents out there. Probably even ones that have been doing it for a long time, because who really sits down to study these things? And that's what I did with YouTube. I sat down and studied YouTube for 60 days, built out a business plan because I understood if you treat YouTube like a hobby, it'll pay you like a hobby. If you treat YouTube like a business, it'll pay you like a business. And so therefore, that's what allowed me to stay on path, to stay on track. And that I believe if you take that massive action, you can absolutely change your business. In 6 months, it changed our life and our business very quickly. So I want to invite you, if you don't mind, thank you for joining us today. You can scan this QR code. We are writing a book, or actually it's already written. So we just have to finalize the publishing process right now. But we really go in depth on all these things. It's called passive prospecting. If you want to scan the barcode, it'll take you to passiveprospecting.com to where you can sign up. So we'll notify you, not there to sell you the book, but just to notify you when it gets released. And that way, if you want to get a copy, we would greatly appreciate it. And maybe I'll see you at the next EXPCon and we can sign it for you. That would be awesome. So thank you again for joining us today. And again, you can reach us on passiveprospecting.com as well if we can help you out in any way. And we'll see you next time.